I have fangs in my mouth. Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Sneople at the Movies. Film criticism by people who actually like film. I don't know who this character is. He's not really a vampire.
You got the
Join
first
us
line.
as we
I think
dive.
you can do it normally. Okay, sure.
We got halfway in. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect. Ooh, very good. And movies we wish we could unsee. From the kids who are hearing the children of the night and the sweet music they make, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Helena.
I'm Ezra.
And I'm Matty, and I'm having just such a hard time right now.
Person.
I'm really sorry, everyone, for anybody who didn't like that voice. I'm putting that character away in a drawer.
I was gonna make a Bim Bam joke and say I'm your sweet baby brother, Matty, and I realized I remembered for the millionth time I am the youngest person on this podcast.
You are
technically
baby Sneople. That's bad. That's bad.
I don't like that.
It's just not right. It just doesn't work quite right.
Okay, wait. Are we gonna actually talk about Molte? Because I just realized.
Yeah, we have to. Okay, guys. Hello, listeners. Hello.
Oh my god.
Now that Russian Muppet Helena has exited the podcast and normal Helena is back.
Yeah. So here's a peek behind the podcasting curtain is, for us, what we do is we open a website called time.is, we'll count down, we'll all clap at the same time, and I use that to later edit the episodes and make sure we're all synced up audio-wise. And time.is has a fun feature, is it'll tell you what weird esoteric holiday is, and it said today's Mole Day, and I was like, well, I gotta know what that means, so I clicked on it. And this takes you to moleday.org. Today is October 23rd, for reference. So today is National Mole Day. And that takes you to a website that's moleday.org. Which is about the number, to be clear. It's Avogadro's number. And I click into the website and I see the 2024 theme announced in Cannibal. And of course I start laughing so hard my stomach hurts. I'm currently on the Mold Day store and I realized that the theme is not just kind of like enchantment or whatever. They're specifically referencing the Disney movie.
Oh,
when you click on Enchantable, it shows on the store, it shows the themed stuff, which is the number, and the entire cast has mole people.
Wait. In case any of you couldn't understand what Matty just said because they were laughing so hard, if you go onto www.moleday.org and click the tab at the top of the screen that says Mole Day Store, it'll take you to some of the official artwork that was created for this year's mole theme, which is Encanto, of course, inspired by, as we all know, the Disney movie Encanto. And there is artwork of the main characters of Encanto as moles. They really kind of covered that's all of them, for sure.
Oh my god.
There's Bruno. Like, I see Bruno. Oh, and if you click into it, the design, you can see all the different things that you can get of that artwork, including a coloring sheet.
Some of them are membership only, so you can have a membership to the National Mole Day Foundation.
I'll say this.
Last year was the adventure. The Adventures of Sherlock Moles.
So what we're saying is
that
this is the greatest thing I've ever discovered.
They have, you can scroll it, so there's membership. Membership renewal, $15 includes the 2024 theme files. Awesome, okay.
You know what I don't love?
And then they have shirts, stickers, shot by theme. This goes back to 1991. Holy shit! They have temporary tattoos. The first time I started laughing really, really hard, it was in Cantabile. But after that, I started laughing again when we first looked at this, when I saw that balloons were an option. They also have earrings, they have rubber stamps, they have cookie cutters.
I have a problem with I have a bone to pick with the Finding Nemo theme from a couple years back.
I'm sorry, is it can't mole fine? Oh, are you talking about the fact that the fish have mole noses? Is that kind of the bad part? This is what I was about to
say. This is the bad part, is that the fish just look like the regular fish, but they have longer noses.
They have longer noses. So the idea, it's a nod,
it's on sale,
to be clear, beyond just being, like, maybe the funniest thing I've seen in a minute. Oh my god. It's a non-profit facilitated by current and former chemistry teachers, and they're trying to, like, provide classroom resources and, like, you know, help teachers and stuff, which is, like, really cool. I think that's a cool concept.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I also kind of feel like I'm gonna combust out of my skin. And I don't think I'll ever be able to talk normally again, because every time I try, I'm going to think about Incantable. And I'm going to fucking, like, die. I cannot, I'm sorry, for people who like, emetophobias and stuff. I can't remember the last time I laughed so hard I thought I was gonna throw up, but I feel like that right now. I'm like, I feel faint.
I'm gonna take the mic away from Matty for a minute.
No, you can't! This is my microphone!
This is incredible. I have to know what... Okay. I'm like, what was the 90 to 19... Like, what was it in 1991 when I was born?
The more the merrier. For our birth years, the theme was the more the merrier in 91. In 92, it was go for the mole. And 93, it was mole out of the barrier. Sorry, out of the barrel. I said it wrong. I would like to say that after that, it gets much better, because we have Ace and the Mole, Moldy Gras, Mole Memorial Day, and then We Dig Chemistry in 97.
See, that's clever. That's clever.
Which is pretty fucking good.
Celebrate the Millennium for 2000. See, Molar Odyssey...
Big fan of 2010's Moles of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
they clearly started... 2021 is Ham Molten.
That one's pretty funny.
See, this is... we gotta...
The chances that my roommate is about to order the Godzilla one to order fucking Molezilla is, like, very strong.
Resources, mole jokes, don't mind if I do.
Okay, well, while Matty's entertaining themselves with that, welcome to Sneople at the Movies, as we've mentioned. This is a podcast where presumably we talk about films
a chemistry
and
podcast.
Stuff. It is not a chemistry podcast.
I kind of wish we were.
Well, welcome to Sneople at the Movies.
Well, welcome to Sneople at the Movies.
We're talking about vampires.
That was 10 minutes of recording.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Some of it will be cut,
happened.
But still, Jesus Christ. At least I got a good laugh out of it for the most part. I'm feeling kind of rejuvenated.
Hell yeah.
Let's sneep, hey? What we sneep?
What have we been
sneeping? Especially because we didn't do it last time, so.
Yeah, I mean...
I guess I generally go first, don't I? Sorry, I was...
You do.
I don't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like...
recovering.
Yeah. Okay. So I have not seen a ton in the time since we last sneeped. I was out of town for about 6 days. I drove all the way down to Las Vegas, which from Portland is about a 15-hour drive if you're going the fast route, over 2 days, and then spent 2 days in Vegas for When We Were Young, the music festival for emos, and then spent another 2 days driving back and got back in town yesterday. So during that whole period, I kind of mostly was just listening to just so much music, both at the festival and over various CDs. I played approximately 15 minutes of Fallout New Vegas while I was in Vegas, because I felt kind of like I had to.
Nice!
But beyond that, I rewatched Glass Onion and Knives Out. I watched the Pale Blue Eye, that Netflix movie that is Edgar Allan Poe RPF, which that was a weird one. I I rewatched the other Edgar Allan Poe RPF movie, The Raven. I saw the Blair Witch Project at that horror drive-in I went to last year, and I saw Scream. Blair Witch Project, still fucking good. I forget that movie's not very long, but it is still, like, a nice, clean cut, like, this is the fucking story, let's go movie. And I still very much like it. Watched some more Psych, back on watching the Exorcist TV show again, which has made me want to rewatch The Exorcist so bad. That movie's so good, I've been thinking about it nonstop. Yeah, and I'm just desperately trying to finish Dragon Age Inquisition. I think
dude.
I finished the main game. I did one of the DLCs. I'm on the second one, and then hopefully we'll be done before the review embargo drops on October 28th, and I can decide if I'm going to buy this game or not.
I believe in you.
Video games. All right, that's me.
Video, James. I'll go fast because I'll go next because mine's really fast, and it's I don't think I've actually watched a movie because every single time I've tried to start watching a movie the last however much time it's been, I've been like, I waited too long and now I need to go to bed. This keeps happening to me. But I finished rewatching all of Gravity Falls, and other than that, if I have been looking at the TV, it has been either playing Baldur's Gate, because I've played upwards of 100 hours of Baldur's Gate now. I'm still not done with a single Baldur's Gate playthrough.
Me neither, brother.
And oh my god, why is this game this game is so fucking big! I don't
so
understand.
Fucking big, and you get into Act 3 and you're like, this is too much, I have to go home. My mom says I have to come home right now immediately.
I can't play it on weeknights. I can't do it. I can only play it on the weekends, because otherwise I'll stay up too late and then I'll be like a zombie at work, which is not going to work because I'm really busy right now. And then I have gone back to watching a lot of Minecraft YouTube, because
hell yeah, dude.
Sometimes that's the only thing that your brain will process.
I mean,
and
I
don't
told
actually
you this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say, I told you this. I'm getting back into Game Grumps. We are reverting to our 2013 selves.
We are.
But, I have better adjusted.
I definitely did watch some Game Grumps. And enjoyed the fuck out of it, because Game Grumps is good.
Still hits.
No, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't like playing Minecraft very much, because I really only want to play it on my computer, and I don't have a good computer gaming setup. But I really love watching other people play Minecraft. It's very soothing.
I agree with that.
Anyway, that's what I got. I'm trying desperately to carve out time to make my roommates watch 2011 homoerotic classic The Eagle.
I know, you brought it up again, and I was like, God, I should rewatch The Eagle again. I started making a list on my phone of movies that it's like, I need to rewatch this again. It's been too long. And The Eagle is on there.
Yeah. And then I gotta make somebody go see the Wild Robot, or whatever it's called, with me, because it sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Matty,
it.
Would you say that for The Eagle, that it has not landed yet? Because you haven't had a chance to watch it?
I suppose one could say that. Yes, that is true. That is a
say
thing
that. If you wanted to make a really bad joke like the one that I just made. Well, I'm wishing you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
I have not also watched The Eagle, but one day I will again. I instead watched a few things, but I haven't been on for a couple weeks, obviously. So I will try and go through this list as quick as possible, because it is a little bit longer. Because there's been a little double the absence time. I watched Out of Sight, which is a Steven Soderbergh movie from the 90s, which I fucking loved. I think it's so good and funny and sexy. That guy just knows how to make a really sexy, slick movie, and I had a great time. I rewatched The Fall. I rewatched Scream. Yeah, baby. I didn't go and rewatch The Fall in theaters because that is happening in a lot of places right now because
Yeah.
it's the anniversary and Moopy is doing well they're working on a physical release as well of the 4K remaster, but
Oh,
at the
hell yeah.
moment if people want to get a very like a free trial of Mubi, they're a really awesome streaming site. They show a lot of really interesting films, like lesser known films, foreign films. And right now they are streaming The Fall, the 4K restoration, and they also do physical releases too. But also like Lee Pace has been boop bopping around Brooklyn doing little like Q&A stuff before screenings of The Fall. Um, and I have not gone to a single one. Because I haven't been able to, because I've been #working.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to say is I'm sorry I missed you, King. One of these days we'll get to meet up and talk about The Fall. But in the meantime, I hope you had a great time. Um, and yeah, if you're anywhere with the AMC, I think that they're showing it in certain AMCs and certain Alamo Draft houses, which is really cool. It's kind of getting its
Sick.
little resurgence, and a lot of people are discovering it. So that's what really makes me really happy.
I
of course,
was really fucking hoping that the Pickford would get it, but nah.
you
I
should
was
write them
in
a letter.
Vegas when I was playing in town.
Gosh,
I was
man,
pretty sad.
that's okay. It'll come back.
If it loves me, it will come back.
Yes,
Ain't that the truth?
It is the truth. Ain't that just the way?
Ain't that just the way?
I gotta rewatch.
Which,
I gotta rewatch.
I know.
I rewatched Over the Garden Wall in case you couldn't tell because it's fall. I literally like went to the store and I bought apple cider and ginger snap cookies and I watched the Over the Garden Wall because I was like, I can't do it without it. So
Incredible.
good, and I'm actually rewatching it tomorrow.
Need to buy
again,
it on
yeah.
So.
I thought I bought it on DVD last year, and I guess I didn't, so I can't find it.
It's handy.
So
it's handy only because like it's nice to not have ads if you have the Hulu with ads.
Isn't it leaving Hulu also?
Oh yeah, it is.
I think that someone was like, "Yeah, it's leaving," and it was like it was supposed to leave.
By leaving, I mean getting
before.
Kicked.
Yeah, like it was supposed to leave before the I think before October actually, and then people were like, "Are you fucking stupid?" Like they tweeted at the Hulu account being like, "Are you dumb?"
Hello Hulu, are you fucking stupid?
And they were like, "Whoops." Anyway, Over the Garden Wall's staying on here until the end of October at least, and it's like, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So for now, it's still there. I have the DVD. It's very handy.
Yeah. As do I.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. I rewatched that. I watched My Cousin Vinny for the first time.
Yeah, boy.
Good times. Very fun.
Good ass movie.
I watched. Well, you know what's not a good ass movie? Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
No.
So, you know how we talked about last time we were together, Matty, about how the first Alien vs. Predator movie was not a good film?
Mm-hmm.
Putting that movie side by side. So the thing is that they get not better, and when you put like to the point where if you put Alien vs. Predator next to Alien vs. Predator Requiem, it starts to look like fucking Citizen Kane.
Right.
And it's just a little bit. Yeah, Requiem's bad. I had no idea what the fuck was going on the entire time. I couldn't see shit. I didn't care about a single character. I was like, what is the point of any of this?
Right.
It was just not good. And it was directed by these guys who were like, we're the Duffer Brothers. Not the Duffer Brothers, that's the Stranger Things guys. It was like, oh god, I have to find out their names now because it was literally so funny. They had like this before credits sting with like a major character or whatever to make the audience go like, "Oh my god!" And
it's these guys,
like it's those guys of the thing in those movies. The Strauss brothers, and it was like, and then it went directed by the Strauss brothers, and you're like, Who?
Who?
Like, I'm sorry, but who? Um, yeah, bad movie. But fortunately, October is here on the Criterion Channel. I have
Yeah.
been just doing that shit mostly. I watched Dolores Claiborne, which is part of the Stories of Stephen King feature that they have going on right now, as well as Christine. Both very good. I watched, they have a Japanese horror feature category this month as well,
No.
and so I watched the Japanese version of The Ring, which is very good, as well as Pulse. They have a really amazing horror FX feature as well. So I have rewatched Bride of Frankenstein through that. I watched Day of the Dead. And then I was like, I haven't seen Dawn of the Dead, and I know Leia told me like a million years ago that it's just on fucking YouTube. So I can't have seen like Night of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead and not watched Dawn of the Dead, which is the one in the middle. So I went on YouTube and I watched Dawn of the Dead. So now I've seen all of them. They're all great. They're all great.
Hell yeah.
Um, and what else is part of that? I don't think anything else on my list right now was that I've seen thus far as part of that category, but it's a really cool category. People should check it out. They have Criterion Channel. I also watched the Evil Dead remake from like 10 years ago. It's
Oh,
nasty.
it's
It's
nasty.
gross.
I
It's
saw that in a
gross.
theater and I slept with the light on for like 3 days afterwards.
Yeah, it's like
She's
it's
nasty.
fun. She's gross. She's gross. Like I don't know what I was expecting. It was very much a dead dove do not eat situation. But
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to
Well,
watch it for that reason.
the original Evil Dead is not anywhere near as like gross or
Yeah.
scary. Like it's all still there, right? But it's not as
Yeah.
impactful. So if and I hadn't seen the original Evil Dead at that point, but if you go into the new Evil Dead expecting that, you will not get that.
Yeah. Well, because the original Dead was like,
The
you
original Dead.
know, six kids in a cabin in the middle of the woods with a packet of corn syrup and a dream, and
Yeah,
that's like
yeah,
that's what they had. And like
and $200.
Evil Dead remake is like, what if we just $200. What if we just like showed all of those things, but like for realsies? And you're like, ew, I don't like that very much. I mean, it was fun, to be clear, like I think the actress who played that main girl who gets possessed is very good. And the finale, where she becomes, spoilers, she becomes unpossessed and has to fight off the last Deadite with like it's raining blood. Like the entire movie is very dull colored, like it has like a very dull color palette, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer. And then the last like 10 minutes, it's suddenly like this vibrant red and it's mad gory, and then you're like, oh, okay, never mind, it's worth it. Um, yeah, I had a good time. It's fine. Um, it's enjoyable if I guess if you are into the Evil Dead movies. I also, pertinent to tonight's discussion, I watched both versions of Salem's Lot that have been both adaptations that have been made. Well, I guess not all. There's another one from the 2000s that I haven't seen with fucking Rob Lowe, which is very funny. So excited to watch that
Oh
one.
yeah.
Right?
Wild.
I saw that and I was like, I'm definitely gonna watch that at some point. I just can't do it right now because I don't know if I can handle the Rob Lowe at all at the moment. Um, but I watched the new one. The new one is a movie that just came out on HBO Max. The original is a much longer mini series, basically. That's directed by Tobe Hooper, who has, of course, directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Um, it's like so. The original is, I think, fine. It's definitely extremely slow. I think for a lot, and will be slow for a lot of people. I think also because it premiered on television in the 1970s, there's like a lot of things that they couldn't show. So there are parts where it gets like really, really creepy, and you're like, oh, and then they cut away like right before this like the creepiest thing happens, and you're like, oh no. Because it was television, they weren't allowed to show that back then. Um, but I think it was HBO, so like they were able to get away with a little bit more. But like whenever a vampire bit into somebody, they like it would like freeze frame, and I was like, but you okay. But I think it was well acted. I think a miniseries is kind of what the book needs to do a proper adaptation. The new movie adaptation is bad. It's not good. Sorry. It's there's just some weird choices made all around, and it's kind of lit like a season 12 episode of Supernatural, and I didn't care for that.
Damn. Brutal.
Very unfortunate. Very easy to understand what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
so that 360 no-scoping.
Sorry, guys.
I just kick-flipped him in the face.
I did. Some parts of it were also acted like a season 12 episode of Supernatural.
Oh!
So that's pew, 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 pew. Sorry, Alfred Woodard Innocent. Also, I watched The Demon, which is a Italian film from the 60s, which is part of the Witches category of the October Criterion Channel lineup. It was pretty fun. I rewatched Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, which is the best movie ever made. I'm so happy to include it in my yearly Halloween rewatch. I was like, oh, it's been a year. I wonder if I'll still love it as much as I did last year. And like literally the opening credits happened and I was like, yeah, I'm so happy to be back here. I then got together with a friend and we watched Sinister. We basically watch movies all day. So we started with Sinister, which is a kind of true crime horror ghost story from 2012 with my best friend Ethan Hawke, who I was I was lusting over the entire time in a way that was, making my friend laugh, which is the intention, but also, hello, hi. He's there and he's in his little dirty cardigan and he's making bad choices like he always does.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very handsome man.
He's a handsome man. We were supposed to watch Casper that night, and we did in fact do that later because her husband really wanted to watch Casper, but he was at paintball, and it was taking him a really long time to get home from paintball. So in the meantime, my friend and I were like, what are we going to do? Ain't that just the way when you're waiting for someone to get home from paintball? What are you going to do? You got to turn on HBO Max, and you got to search Scooby-Doo, and you got to find... Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, and you gotta watch the whole thing. It's only like 71 minutes long.
Yeah, crapsoluely.
So, yeah, man, that's what we did. It had been a while for her. I embarrassingly was like, it has not been a while for me. I watched this maybe literally like last year. But it was fun to get that reaction and see all the little interesting storytelling choices they make in that movie. There's a lot. I won't get into it right now, but there's some choices that are made. And then we watched Casper, which was great. She had never seen it before. I really liked that movie. And I guess the most recent thing I've rewatched is Midnight Mass, which is also pertinent to tonight's discussion. But I kind of like to rewatch that little show every Halloween because I have a soft spot for it in my heart. I am just now getting into the Fall of the House of Usher TV show that Mike Flanagan did because I haven't watched that one yet. So I've just started that. It's been enjoyable so far.
Let me know what you think. I haven't watched any of it, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will say, like, so far, like, one of my favorite parts, and this is a completely, like, non-quality aspect of it, is, like, what I really enjoy about watching his stuff now is that he has, of course, his little stable of actors, which I think is really fun. And so I really enjoy, especially after so soon, rewatching Midnight Mass to kind of like go into it and be like, oh, it's that guy. And it's that guy. And it's that guy. And there's your wife.
Wes Anderson it.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's like, it's great. He's got his own little theater company and I really enjoy it. So I'm liking it so far. It's creepy, but Midnight Mass I cried a lot again, as you do. And I also finished season 1 of The Terror.
Hell yeah, dude. How you feeling?
I'm emotionally just a fucking wreck. And I've been like pulling people aside at work and being like, have you heard
of the
Lost Franklin expedition? Hey, can I just like talk to you about the Lost Franklin expedition for a second? And they look at me like I'm insane for some reason. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I would know.
Yeah, it's eating at me, dog. Great.
Sorry,
Season 1.
pause.
I haven't watched season 2.
It's eating at you.
Yeah, sure is.
I mean, it's like right there. I wasn't gonna go for it, but yeah, there
well,
we go. Yeah,
that's my job in the show is to pluck the low hanging fruit.
it's eating at me.
Ha ha ha. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I haven't watched The
a
Terror,
good...
so I don't have to be concerned about like being emotionally compromised, and I can just make jokes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope that one day you will know my pain. Um, and I mean, I will. You can still make jokes. I think that jokes are needed in times like this, and I think if they had more little jokesters on the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror, they would have survived longer. Personally, instead they just had fucking psychopaths and um
and a lot of lead.
Well,
and a lot of lead.
A lot of lead.
Yeah.
Which I was recently reading. They thought initially, and so that's how the book and the show presented it, was part of the sealant in the tin foods they were eating. But now there's a theory that it was because of this like advanced water filtration system they had on the ship, that there was like lead in that, which is fucking crazy.
Fascinating.
Which is so sad because you're like, that's something that was supposed to like benefit them.
Yeah.
It ended up just making things really bad.
I mean, to be fair,
anyway,
why not both?
Yeah, por qué no los dos, as they say, as they were often saying on HMS Erebus and HMS Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good show that I watched and think is really great, and everybody should also watch. And I also finished the first season of Shogun, which I also think is a really great show that people should watch. I was really far along on that, and then I paused it to start the Terror because it felt like the right time. And then I went back to the Shogun, and I was like, "Wow, history be crazy."
That there's nothing else to be said. You can say that.
But that's me. Do we want to talk about the Man of the Hour?
Sure,
Man of the Hour? The
this is one that's been on the back burner for a hot min. We always had in our pocket is like, we can do this anytime. But it's Halloween. We didn't have any other thing that we desperately needed to talk about. It's time. It's fucking vampires, baby.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine we can maybe do more than one episode on this, because there's just kind of a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, dog.
I feel like I have a list of vampire movies that I would like to watch in preparation for a future vampire episode, because I did not manage to do it this time. And I think I would like to do, like, just non-English language vampire stuff.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun, like, the vampire filtered through other cultural contexts.
I was gonna say one, but I think technically the fact that it's about a vampire, it's a spoiler, so never mind.
Oh, what?
But there are movies that I'm thinking of.
Oh, ow!
Yeah,
God
I think
damn
I know
it.
which one you mean.
Sorry, I just yawned so hard I popped my jaw. We're fine, don't worry about it.
Jiminy
It's all good. It happens periodically.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long while.
Checks watch while. Do we have anything we want to start on specifically? We've written out just like a whole bunch of different ones. We can start just kind of vaguely too. I'm happy to go anywhere. Obviously, my biggest point of reference is Dracula Watch, which I have talked about before, and I'm doing on Letterboxd, where I'm trying to watch every Dracula adaptation, and I put it on hiatus because, by God, it just made me so tired.
Yeah.
But that's my big thing.
And for like first time listeners who maybe not be familiar with your Dracula Watch project as I am, like, why would you say it's making you tired?
Because there's not so I have one list on Letterboxd, the app.
Yeah.
And it's called The Hunt for Mr. Right, i.e. a good Dracula adaptation. Yeah, I'm gonna watch them all, and yeah, I'm gonna be miserable for most of it. Smiley face. This is the only rated and reviewed thing on my account. That's the description. There's 7 movies on there. And I hold on. I think 4 categories. Yeah, here we go. Criteria, but part of it is because I was like so tired of trying to rank every single thing. There's 4 criteria, and I'm scaling each one out of 5. So it was a lot of work, is the other point.
Sure.
But it was, so loyalty to the text, how much does it follow the original book by Bram Stoker, a book that I very much love. Interpretation / adaptation, how creative and interesting or person appealing are the changes to the original text. Quality of film, is it a well-made film or TV series? And then fun factor, was it an enjoyable watch? Did it rule? And then I ranked from there. And the issue is that basically everything I've watched has not hit that first point, which is loyalty to text. And as someone who really likes the original book, this is really fucking frustrating to have watched, at this point now, 7 movies and have barely scratched the surface, and have none of them be loyal to the original text that I enjoy so much. The first movie on this list that I ranked is the Bela Lugosi Dracula, the 1931. For a lot of people, this is like the classic Dracula film. I still really love it. Obviously, it's number 1 on my list. And even then, I'm like, I don't think it's a good, like, in terms of text, adaptation of the book. But it's a really good movie and a really interesting take. And Bela Lugosi is there. So...
You know
that
what my
is
favorite thing about this
in
list?
fact, undead.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this list, and 2 of my favorite rankings on here are that, first of all, Dracula 3000 is above the Stephen Moffat television series Dracula. I think that that's justified and correct.
Thank you.
And very funny. And also that Dracula 2000 is just one notch above Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah. And the thing is, I noted that because I personally do not enjoy Bram Stoker's Dracula, a thing which has definitely come up on this show before. And I think that Dracula 3000 got higher points in the fun factor category, as well as interpretation. And so that bumped it up for me, even if it lost points in loyalty to text and quality of film.
Right. Which is, like, not to say, like, I watched parts of the Dracula 2020 miniseries. That is not a very loyal text either.
No.
At least in, like,
it's not.
in some portions,
I only watched...
not.
I think, were you there when I watched the first episode,
yeah,
and I think we were talking about the other 2, and I just looked them up on Wikipedia and read the synopsis and was like, I'm not watching the other episodes. I literally refuse.
It was like, I've been burned too many times, sort of a situation.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where he's like, he washes up in the future or something?
Yeah, and then, so there's, God, I don't remember because I watched it so long ago. I think only the first one is even actually related to Dracula, like the original text. The third one is in the future, and I forget what happens in the second episode. I wrote on Letterboxd points for making it gory and weird horny instead of normal horny, but negative points for almost everything else. Loved the homoeroticism because no one ever does that, but I'm still giving Moffat the chair.
I do remember, the one thing I remember the most about this one is that they spent quite a bit of time on the Demeter.
Yeah. I think maybe the second episode was just the Demeter.
Yeah, which is a choice. Like, and on one hand, I really like that part of the story, and I think it's very cool that, it gets so much focus. On the other hand, I think part of the reason, I may have talked about this before, but like part of the reason why I think that part of the story is so interesting and so scary is because we don't see what's happening in it.
It's a slasher.
We only see bits and pieces of what actually happened, and we have more clues to put the story together than the people who are in the story. It's called dramatic irony.
Yeah.
And when you take away all the mystery of it and we know this dude is fucking Dracula and we're just watching these poor guys like put, paprika on their chicken and be like, hey, Dracula, have some paprika, which is the thing that they did in the show. He was like, what is this? And they're like, it's paprika. And he's like, oh. That was like a thing that Stephen Moffat put into his Dracula TV show. At a certain point, I'm like, I don't know how interesting this is. Is it interesting? I don't think it is. It's not scary, really. It's just kind of like, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's just eating these poor sailors.
I'm making such a face right now. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's afraid of Dracula, like the book. Every director looks at it, thinks, I can do better. I can make Dracula the notable novel which changed the landscape of vampires forever. I can do better. No, you can't. Obviously, you can't, because nobody has.
Yeah.
And obviously there are people who disagree with me because they're like, Bram Stoker's Dracula's so good. And Mita wouldn't fucking do that, okay? Wow, I was like, yeah, we're not gonna get into Dracula Watch, but Helena was like, hey, you want to get into Dracula Watch, man? And it just opened a door in my chest.
Yeah, the floodgates opened.
My apologies.
Cracked that door a little bit, like that frightening Tom and Jerry meme.
Literally.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. But yeah, so that's Dracula Watch. This is my burden to bear, film and TV wise. Is that so far I have not. But if you find one, if you're like, I think this is a really good Dracula adaptation you guys haven't talked about yet, Sneople@gmail.com, please fucking tell me. I'm waiting with bated breath.
You're literally looking for Mr. Right.
I'm literally looking for Mr. Right. I am on Tinder for movies, which I guess is literally Letterboxd.
It's it's Letterboxd.
Just trying. With arms wide open.
Letterboxd needs to kind of like needs to like pay you for that. I'm gonna submit to them.
Yeah.
For their advertisements. Letterboxd. Tinder for movies?
Tinder for movies? Question mark?
What they can put on their social media campaigns and stuff, and they'll be like, thank you.
Yeah, they'll be like, that's such a good idea, Sneople, the movies. We love you guys so much. And you're so smart and cool. Do you
want to run our company now? Yeah. That's what they'll say to us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway. I think opening this episode with the mole joke it's taken a while to get my brain back to normal.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back. Okay, vampires.
I'm thinking like, things that were early iconic Dracula, like being human. We love being human. Fright Night. Vampires are God, Twilight. We grew up in the Twilight era.
Twilight.
We really did.
It's crazy.
That was
probably like my first big exposure to vampires.
Twilight.
Yeah. And so that was like before I'd read Interview with the Vampire. Well, I guess technically I had seen the Interview with the Vampire movie by that point.
I hadn't.
Yeah, I saw it when I was too young. But that was like my first real exposure to it, to the genre. And like, listen.
Yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah.
Obviously not great.
No.
In terms of like objective quality and all kinds of fucked up because of in so many ways, like ways I can't even begin to quantify. It basically, if you make a list of like what are the ways in which a story could be fucked up, and not in like a cool like gross way, but like in a how can I fuck up and offend so many different kinds of people and cultures in a series, like that kind of a list, you basically do the check. She does it all, folks. Stephanie Meyer, hooray. There's so much crazy shit in that series that is just not not correct and not right and not on. But I do understand the idea of being like, vampires, kind of sexy, no? Because there is that element of it. Now, I think it's cowardly. I think it's a coward move to be like, but it's okay, they're vegetarian. Or, but it's okay, they look like normal people, except they sparkle. Like, that's the part of it where I'm like,
it's watered down vampirism.
Yeah. Like, at 12 years old, obviously, I was like, oh, hell yeah, he sparkles. I guess.
He's
I
not
don't
like
know
other
what I thought
vampires.
of that. He's not like other vampires. He sparkles. And also, he doesn't eat humans.
He doesn't eat
just
people,
eats
so it's
rabbits.
okay.
Which is, like, so Louis Dupont, the Lac-Coded of him. But
meanwhile,
so
I'm playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines as adult. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna eat a rat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lure people into alleyways and eat them. And then shoot people with my gun.
Because
that game's really good.
Hell yeah. I had not seen Twilight until my roommate showed it to me as an adult.
Oh, I still have not seen the first Twilight movie all the way through. I've only seen one of them in theaters, and I don't even fucking remember which one, but I read all of them. Like,
I only ever read the first one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, we had, that was like, so many people I knew in high school were reading it. I'm sure this
I had tons of people who were into it. I read the first one and I was like I binge read it and then I was like, this is abysmal. I can't keep reading this.
Yeah.
But I also didn't read it until I was like 16 or 17. So I was getting into Buffy the Vampire Slayer at the right around when Twilight was huge. So which made me an insufferable jackass about Twilight. Sorry to everybody who knew me at that point.
Well, even though you were objectively correct.
Yeah, but it also made me into like an annoying hipster.
Sure.
So,
welcome to being a high schooler.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, truly, you win some, and also you lose some. But it's been very interesting revisiting Twilight as an adult with someone who was like a huge Twilight fan, who was like, no, you have to watch these movies. It's like it will make you understand something about American culture. Specifically Twilight moms.
Yeah. And I think it also says a lot about like our generation too.
Yeah.
Like American teenagers people who are American teenagers of a specific age. I think mostly people who identified as girls at the time, though I don't know. A lot of them were into Twilight, including myself, obviously.
Like if you had an American teen girlhood, if you weren't into Twilight, a bunch of your friends were, and it annoyed the fuck out of you.
Right. It's very much a touchstone for a lot of people.
I just remember being
Supernatural was always there. Was there too. That was another.
Oh yeah.
But that covered a lot of other stuff, so it wasn't just vampires, obviously.
Yeah, and honestly, like, unfortunately about Supernatural, like, I've never really enjoyed their vampire episodes.
No, I mean, there's so many better
very well
and more interesting episodes.
Yeah.
The only vampire who sticks out to me is obviously my fucking wife, Benny.
Well, yeah, of course.
And he got shafted anyway, so.
Yeah.
Not even like in a good way.
No, yeah, that's
kind
good.
of, yeah.
I hear you. That is what the show does. Especially with wife-coded characters.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Supernatural, like, always was more interesting to me when it was dealing with ghosts and demons and other
stuff.
Various related things. Yeah, their vampire episodes just never really hit for me for some
reason.
They don't
add anything to the conversation about vampires. They're just...
Yes.
Sort of, they're generic, they're not sexy, they feel like, the supernatural vampires feel like we had to tick the did vampires box.
Yeah, it felt obligatory.
But I also, like, I gotta say, having grown up as begrudgingly part of the Twilight generation, I just remember sitting there thinking, I just don't think vampires are sexy. Like, no one who has done, who was, like, doing vampires in the Twilight era, or even on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because I think that, like, the guy who plays Angel is, like, grown in a lab to make me go, ugh, boring. And I hate Buffy Spike as a ship, so sorry, James Marsters, you're a very good actor and a very handsome man, but
and very good at audiobooks.
Do it for me. Very good at audiobooks.
Angel, I never watched much Buffy. Angel is a vampire?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
cool.
like the whole
Thumbs
thing
up.
is, so Angel's a vampire who, for reason that I'm not going to get into,
never knew.
because it's it trades in a specific type of joke, like trope about Romani people that's really unfortunate. He has, like, so the idea with Buffy vampires is that they used to be human, and they are, when you become a vampire, you die, and your soul goes to whatever the fuck happens to souls, and something else takes its place. And Angel has been is under a curse that has, like, retrieved his soul from Soulville and, like, like bound it to him. So he has to feel. So he has, like, human emotions like guilt.
So he's a vampire, but
stuff.
He got his soul back?
Yeah, he's a vampire who has his soul back, and then I guess spoilers for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Whatever.
The first time he and Buffy have sex, it breaks the curse and he loses his soul. And he becomes like all of the other vampires where he's, like, incapable of having, like, morality and stuff. And so it's a metaphor for, like,
why is him getting his soul a curse again?
I have no fun, because he feels bad, because he's, like, compelled to do vampire shit and then also feel bad about it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's like he's like being forced to experience empathy.
Bummer.
And it's just
really rough out there.
So having sex is bad.
Well, it's more like, like, I had sex with my boyfriend for the first time and now he's, like, treating me really differently. Like, scary thing that sometimes happens when you're a teenager. Because the whole thing with Buffy the Vampire Slayer is that the good episodes of Buffy or the good arcs of Buffy are about taking a, like, common teenager problem or fear and, like, exaggerating them into a supernatural monster that has to be fought.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Which is why Buffy the Vampire Slayer is actually, like, a fairly good and smart show, at least some of the time, and then Joss Whedon is also a butthole.
Yeah, that's true. Everything I know about Angel is that he has his own...
is extremely sexy. Sorry.
He got his own show. I've never actually watched the
and
Angel
one of my
show
mutuals is into it.
I don't like him. I don't think he's that interesting.
That actor is on Bones?
Yeah, he's the Bones guy.
That was my only interaction with him until I started seeing gifs of him as Angel, and I was like, what the shit is happening to me right now? Because I never watched Buffy, so I had no clue he was on it.
Yes. Yeah.
This is like when I started watching West Wing, and I was like...
David Boreanaz? Is that his name?
Psych?
David Boreanaz. Yeah.
Did I just pull that out of my butt?
No, that's correct.
Okay, cool.
Issue, like, I mean, I obviously have started watching Buffy, and for various reasons, I've gotten sidetracked, mostly because I'm intimidated by the length of it, and I will get there eventually.
It is a lot of television show.
It's a lot of television show. My issue, of course, is that with a couple of issues, is that, like, I hate Xander almost from the immediate start. I'm like, wow, this guy
reasonably
sucks.
So. Oh, and yeah, he just, like, sucks.
So he just sucks. He just straight up sucks. And I was like, this guy is what people were because some people seem to like him as a character, and
he gets
I was like,
more interesting, which makes it more frustrating.
Oh, fun.
Like, that situation never gets better, it just gets more annoying. Like, you're like, because you can see how it could be interesting, and then it keeps just, like, shooting itself in the dick repeatedly. On the other hand, Anthony Stewart Head is just a very, very sexy man, so...
He's just incredibly sexy, but this is my problem, is that, like, and I don't know how this would have been for me watching it when I was a teenager. Now it probably would have been the exact same experience. Like, I'm looking at all these guys that Buffy's, like, you know, having relations with, and I'm like, these are all very fine. I'm not attracted to any of these men. And the only man I am attracted to is her father figure. So I'm just gonna sit over in my little corner, my little shame corner, and just watch Giles. I've told the story before.
Test, as someone who watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer when I was 17. No, I was still just horny about Giles.
Okay,
I mean, like, no, all of Buffy's boyfriends were boring, and Anthony Stewart Head was walking around in tweed waistcoats and rolling his sleeves up and taking his glasses off, and I was like,
Oh, God.
Hello.
See, my version of this is that, like, I watched this show on Discovery Kids called Strange Days at Blake Halsey High, otherwise known as Black Hole High, which is a Canadian television show.
Oh my God. And that's a deep cut, dude.
Deep cut. Shout out to all my Strange Days at Blake Halsey High watchers out there. But there was a professor character on that show who I was like, fuck these, like, teenage guys who are my literal age.
We are all so stupidly predictable.
Yeah, so that would have been me for sure. This guy was like Giles Light, like this.
I mean, I love Anthony
like
Stewart
Canadian
Head. I don't know
Light
what there's
Giles.
to say.
It's true, and I did. I've told this story before, but I think it's an appropriate time to bring it up. There was a time when I was like really, really bored, and so I went on to like BuzzFeed quizzes, as you do. Yeah. And there was like, what Buffy character are you? And I opened that quiz in the tab, and then there's another quiz that was like, which Buffy guy should you end up with? And I was like, oh, all right, open that quiz in the tab, and I took both of them one right after the other. And the result that I got for which Buffy character are you was Giles.
Of course.
I was like, interesting. And then I took the quiz, which Buffy guy should you be with? And I took that quiz, and I ended up with Giles.
Yeah.
So this presents a very interesting conundrum.
I'm gonna start describing my gender / sexual orientation as Giles for Giles.
Giles for Giles.
Giles.
Those are my pronouns are Giles / Giles.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, hold on. Changing my username in Discord. Continue recording the podcast.
Okay,
please.
Great. I mean, what I have seen of Buffy, I like honed in on Giles and was like, yeah, baby, that one. But once again, I love Anthony Stewart Head, and I always have, and I always will. So,
Yeah,
Tony,
truly. Tony, thank you.
Now imagine that any of us were Imagine if any of us were in the place of Bradley James, who walked onto the set of Merlin in whatever fucking year that was, and saw Anthony Stewart Head walking around. He was like, is that Anthony Stewart Head? And they were like, yeah, dog. And he was like, I'm sorry, who is he playing? And they were like, oh, he's playing your dad. And Bradley James, no Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, was like, come again? And they were like, yeah, dog. And he was like, I'm sorry, I have to go throw up somewhere, presumably is what happened to him. Which is basically the story that he's told. His like, I was like shaking in my goddamn boots.
Yeah,
like, I have to walk around in fucking chainmail. I would die on the spot. That would have been that situation. I've been like, well, it was nice to have this opportunity. Thank you for casting me in this show, but unfortunately, I have to to leave now.
If Anthony Stewart Head yells at me, I will start crying. So, if he's gonna be my shitty dad on this show, I'm gonna cry, and I think that's gonna be a problem for everybody here. So,
big problem.
Consider this.
Yeah. Consider this.
Now I'm just thinking
really
about
about
Tony Head with his 3DS.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
His little pink 3DS on
his little pink 3DS on the
classic,
set of
the exact same one
God.
I had when I was a kid, yeah.
Incredible. This all has absolutely nothing to do with vampire movies, and I don't care at all.
Sure.
I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that has something to do with vampires.
That's
She's
true.
literally a vampire slayer.
She is, in fact, literally a vampire slayer.
Have you all seen the movie that they made of it?
No.
Oh, the movie came first, actually.
Really?
I have never seen it, but yeah, the TV show is technically based on the movie.
Fascinating stuff.
Which is not directed by Joss Whedon, but it is written by him.
Yes. I think it's quite a bit more camp.
It
like overtly
definitely
camp.
Is. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Which, I love it when vampires are camp.
I think they should be.
I think it's difficult to have them not be a little bit camp. Unless you have so this is my I was gonna say I want to try to establish one of those ideology quadrants for vampire vibes, and I'm struggling to come up with what they should be, and I'm I kind of feel like one of the axes should be feral to camp. How, and then, but I don't know what the other one would be.
So I think there's something to be said for if we're going to, pulling out my Vampire the Masquerades card. You initially brought this up in the doc because you were
yes.
I think there's something helpful there potentially about there's clans or whatever. So I think one end of there's feral to camp / human. So feral to camp, and then there's magical to beast. You know, how much of it is I have magic powers, and how much of it is this is physically built into me animal instincts. You know?
Yeah, that's
how many weird magic powers do I have? And that is something there's a whole spectrum on the Vampire the Masquerades lines where different clans give you different points. And different. So my clan that I generally play is human, mostly magical. They're the little gay boys basically. And they're the ones who blend in the most with humans.
I see.
And they're they tend to be artists or whatever. You could do a quiz at the beginning to determine which one you are, and it gave me that.
What's
and
the
I was
name of
all
that
right,
one?
Fine, I'm fucking gay.
I used to know more of these.
Give me a second, I will pull up the clan. All my Vampire the Masquerade knowledge is from the video game, to be clear. But I think it's mostly the same as in the tabletop game. I'll pull up all the clans and stuff. But I think that's the spectrum.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's I like that. It's where it's feral to camp, and then species to magic. Or beast to wizard. You know, how much of it is
I don't
know.
In the tabletop game, in the overall, there's 13 clans. I think there's slightly less in Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodline. I play a Toreador.
Yeah,
which I keep getting confused with Tremere, because they sound very similar, but no, the Tremeres are the magicians.
Yeah. That's, which those are my two favorites.
Yeah. But there's also, I will say, there's the Nosferatu, which are the ones that look inhuman. So they're also that kind of vampire, which, is often, it's the Twilight versus, once again, literally Nosferatu is kind of the points on that, is how much do they literally look human, and how much do they look like some kind of horrid beast.
The Dresden Files does that too, in a way that I think is actually pretty effective, where there's 3 types of vampires, and they are more or less human to bestial.
Yeah. I like how the Dresden Files Defender.
It's us. The Dresden Files Defense Squad has logged on.
SMH. I like how they do vampires. Which, like, the thing with Dresden Files book spoilers, I guess, not that anyone fucking cares.
No, I don't, I guarantee you.
I like how some of that works, even though the stuff with Thomas is corny, where, like, they can't feel love, it will physically hurt them. So, like, he can never touch Justine ever again, because he'll, like, burn. It's very tragique, and I love that shit. Gobble it up.
It's very fun and melodramatic. Which, like... Yeah, there's... I mean, vampires are just... The whole concept is... they're just melodramatic. And they're so, like... They lend themselves to a lot of different, like, levels of seriousness.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, of course, being, you know... the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah.
Probably my all-time favorite vampire, not gonna lie.
Yeah. And they're also, like, scariness.
Icon, yeah.
I'm like, that, the Count is not scary at all, he's my friend. That's my friend, the Count. He taught me how to count.
Yeah. 1, 2.
And then there's the ones that, like, scamper across the ground at you and try and bite your limbs off, and you're just like, fuck! My limb!
Get out of there.
No, fucking, universally panned, weird comic book adaptation priest vampires.
Yes!
Really out there looking like...
fucking...
they look like cave, you know, those, like, fucked up cave species that, like, have no eyeballs because there's no light. So, like, why wouldn't we need fucking photoreceptors? Who gives a shit?
And it's
there's
fucking
no
cool.
There's no photons to recept. Yeah, and it's fucking cool as hell.
It's fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
Is that movie stupid? Sort of. Is it?
Whenever you guys start talking about Priest, it's just the funniest fucking thing in the world.
I'm so glad you think it's funny, because we can't stop.
There are things about Priest.
It's really touching to me how much you love that movie.
That are not good. And there are things about Priest that I think, like the vampires, that I think are interesting. You know, freaking... Oh, I said I was going to talk about John Carpenter's Vampires. You know that movie that everyone likes and says is good?
Please tell me about Oscar-winning film John Carpenter's
Vampires. And it has a similar concept of, like, they are human, but they kind of, like, hole up in these, like, shitty houses, and the main characters in this movie are, like, essentially mercs hired by the Pope to go find these vampires and kill them. And they're all...
I really want to see this movie.
It's really fucking fun.
To interrupt you for like 2 seconds, I was like, God, I really want to make time to watch John Carpenter's Vampires before we record this episode so I can like talk about it with Matty and actually know what I'm talking about. I did not make that happen, tragically, but I really
That's okay.
Watch it.
Vampires 1998. Where can I watch this movie?
Oh, I don't remember.
Fuck you, AMC Plus.
I don't remember how I saw it.
Excuse me.
I must have rented it.
Hang on. I guess I can rent
please
it
continue,
on
Matty.
YouTube. Sorry. Go ahead.
So they're hired by the Pope to go kill vampires. And it's a concept kind of... A lot of vampire media does this, where there's, like, the main vampire, and then they have their, like, subservient, less powerful vampires, or, like, half vampires, or whatever, right?
Yes.
There's Spawn, essentially. There's a bunch of different words for it.
Baldur's Gate called.
So this has that concept, which I think is, you know, it's, for a movie especially, is a really easy way to set up the bad guy while still having cannon fodder for an action movie, where you could just beat a bunch of ass, but there's still, like, one dude who's gonna be, like, hard to fight. It's not anything necessarily to write home about, but I think, you know,
it's a nice and easy shorthand, and it works well. I love when Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, keep talking, because I think I might be changing the subject a little bit.
Oh, I think I am too. I was gonna say, I like when vampire movies, do the thing where they're like, oh, well, our vampires are different. They don't react to fucking whatever. You have to do this to kill them, or some shit. It's very funny to me every time they're like, we're not like other girls.
I know, it's like everybody's like, we gotta have the obligatory scene where somebody's like, what about this traditional vampire, repellent or whatever thing, and they're like, psh, that's if you're really in the know, that's bullshit, and it's like, okay, someone's always gotta be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, if I start encountering vampires in my neck of the woods, I'm not taking any chances. I'm putting out all the stops, and I'm not sure what's gonna actually do it. So don't make fun of me for like getting garlic and stuff. Like, come on, man.
I'm
like,
doing my fucking best here.
Yeah, like, truly,
yeah,
how do
like
I fucking
the
know?
attitude. Exactly, the attitude is really what gets to me. I'm like, don't be that guy. The moral of the lesson is like, don't be that guy in the room who's like, you think that's gonna stop them? Like, come on.
Wow, that's so embarrassing. What? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to fucking...
Oh. Mr. Vampire
was I psychically born with this knowledge? Jeez.
Yeah, like, I just found out that they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really gotta do the like, so vampires are real equivalent of the, like, you're one of today's lucky 10,000.
Yeah.
This is one of those tropes in storytelling where I'm like, something that a conversation I always have with myself and have been having with myself for a very long time whenever I become, like, scared of the possibility that, like, what if there are ghosts? What if there are vampires? What if there are these things?
Yeah.
I always am telling myself, well, like, Helena, they wouldn't have come out of this story and with all of this exact lore and had that be real if that were actually real. Like, this is a thing that people invented. And that stories that were created, like, that's not something, like, everything comes from something that's not completely made out of nothing, but not in this exact way that you're thinking.
Right.
But there's so much, that particular trope happens so much where someone is like, these vampires are different. They don't respond to garlic. They don't respond to crucifixes. They don't respond to this or that, where you're just like, well, fucking someday, I am going to wake up in my goddamn house. Yeah, it's like the Beatles come over to my house and tell me, like, how to kill vampires. There's a movie.
I was making fun of the voice
You're welcome,
doing, but yeah, no.
Well, that's the first voice that came out of me. I don't know why.
That's okay. This happens to me literally all the time.
I was like, think of an annoying person, and my brain was like,
yeah, the Beatles.
So it's like, it just really annoys me because I'm like, I'm gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna be dealing with this, and someone's gonna be like, they're vampires, and I'm gonna be like, well, what works, and I'm gonna be that person. Like, this is what I really like about Salem's Lot, the book, is that there's a character in that book, Mark, who was like this teenage boy. He was like teenage, like 12, where he was like one of the only people who survives the entire novel because he's like watched all these like monster movies. He's like really obsessed with monster movies and vampire stories and like vampire comics. And he knows all of the lore and he takes it very seriously. So he's like, when vampires start showing up, he's like, okay, well, these are all of the things that I know. I'm going to try all of them and just see what fucking works. And a lot of them do. And guess what? He survives the book. So
genre savvy
I just don't want to
bro.
be that guy. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be genre savvy than dead. That's all I'm saying.
I was today years old when I learned that Stephen King's Salem's Lot is about vampires.
So was I.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
I remain stubbornly ignorant about almost all things related to Stephen King.
What a beautiful thing that is. I wish that were me.
It's worked out for me pretty okay so far.
Yeah, it's working out very great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here I am, my little corner. Who like continues to read Stephen King despite every time I finish a Stephen King book being like,
I wish I hadn't done that.
Sure? Well, like, here's the thing. Like, I think for the most part, Salem's Lot is a very good book. I think it's one of his best ones.
All right. Cool.
The ending fucking blows. as per usual, but like it's a good book, like, but he is one of those authors where sometimes I'm like, I'm really digging this, I'm really digging this, I'm really digging this, and then sometimes he'll do something and I'm like, huh? Don't know about that.
What's all this then?
And then what's all this then? What's all this then? Then like that character coming back being like, what's all this then? And so I go back and forth on him. He's like an author that's like my one of those like friends that you have who's like really annoying, but you still like hang out with them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you don't like dislike them as a person, and sometimes they'll say something that's really funny, and I'm sure I am that person for some people, and Stephen King is that for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's my treatise on Stephen King. Yeah, Salem's Lot's about vampires. The best Salem's Lot adaptation, unfortunately, is Midnight Mass, which is pretty funny since it's not actually a Salem's Lot adaptation. But it is the best Salem's Lot adaptation that I have seen. There are a lot of things. Midnight Mass is an original story by Mike Flanagan, in contrast to his usual stuff, which are usually adaptations of previous work. But there are a lot of things that are very much in common with Salem's Lot, just thematically. Obviously, there's the vampire thing. And then there's like guy who's been kind of like shrouded in tragedy and darkness, returning to his quiet small town in the like East Coast that he grew up in, where things are pretty sleepy and kind of dying and decaying, and that becomes sort of like prime real estate, literally or not, for something very dark and unsettling to take over.
Okay.
And in Midnight Mass, it just happens to be that thing is very much closely related to Catholics, where in Salem's Lot, it's not as much about that. It's more just like a dead American town, basically, and then taking like the literalness of that into like how easy it would be to like basically for a vampire to come in and be like, you're all like me now. Whereas Midnight Mass is a little bit different than that, but there's a lot of similarities for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so it just kind of feels like a good Salem's Lot adaptation. And certainly like Mike Flanagan has been influenced by Stephen King to some degree and has in fact done Stephen King adaptations before. This one is not, but I think it's still, very good, and I'll accept it as a Salem's Lot adaptation.
He did Dr. Sleep, didn't he?
He did Dr. Sleep,
yeah,
and
which was good.
Which is good, and then I haven't seen it, but I trust you, and I assume it's good. And he also did an adaptation of Gerald's Game as well, which is Stephen King. And maybe something else. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway. Yeah, Salem's Lot's about vampires. It's a pretty good book. If you like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else though? Now we're just turning into characters from Fargo.
Okay, I'm trying to think about other fun. I was trying to think about what the first vampire-related movie I remember seeing is.
It's a very good question.
And I think it might be the 2000 horror, like year 2000 horror comedy, The Little Vampire.
I love that for you.
Which is really cute. I forgot that this movie existed. Apparently it's based on a German children's book series.
Oh.
It's called The Little Vampire from the 70s, which is really cute. It has Richard E. Grant in it. So I really have just always loved Richard E. Grant. And now I kind of, oh my god, Anna Popplewell's in this too? Wow, I gotta go watch, I gotta go back and watch this again. I remember this movie extremely fondly. I have no idea if it's actually any good or not. But it's like this little boy who ends up being like friends with a vampire who's also a little, like another little kid who's a vampire. Yeah. It whips.
Everyone's dream.
And
Richard E. Grant
it was not. I don't think it was very well reviewed, but I loved it.
Whatever. What do they know? Richard E. Grant, as I recall, I haven't seen it, but I seem to remember that he plays the vampire's like dad or something.
I'm pretty sure he's the vampire dad. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically the story is I got bodied really hard because my roommate was actually rewatching that last year, I think. And I was like, "What are you watching?" And she's like, "Little Vampire." And she's like, "Wait a minute, you'll know who this guy is." And I turned and looked at the screen, and it was fucking Richard E. Grant. And I was like, "Oh!" And she was like, "I know, I knew it. I knew you would know who that is." And I was like,
so funny.
"Oh man."
Oh my god, no, this is so crazy. So Anna Popplewell, famous for playing Susan in the Chronicles of Narnia movie, is in this movie when she was like a really little kid.
Huh.
Oh, baby.
How about that?
Yeah. Now I feel
That's
like
so
that
cute.
was like, I don't know, I never really got into vampires.
Well, now's the time.
It's never too late.
I've seen I've like seen quite a bit of vampire media, but I feel like it was like there was nothing until I watched Buffy, and then that made me like a pretentious douchebag about the Twilight phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was just like vampires would come up in stuff, but I was like, it was nothing until Being Human. Which is probably my favorite vampire-related thing that I can do.
Okay, can we talk about Being Human? Let's just talk about Being Human.
Yeah, we can talk about Being Human literally whenever you want. That's gotta be one of my favorite takes on, like, a vampire who's, like, trying not to be a serial killer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shy away, because it doesn't shy away from it's like, oh, that just makes you a serial killer. Because there's not anything sexy about the vampire predation. It makes it very clear that the sex factor is part of the, like, their ambush predators.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I seem to remember that, I mean, television, of course, so
it's
a little bit
fucking upsetting.
Down, but, like, yeah, when, like, Aidan Turner was, like, a very sexy person, a very handsome man, very attractive. But, like, when he was a vampire and when he, like, went over the moral horizon, he was fucking he was scary. He was not pleasant and not nice to look at.
No.
And
you
so,
have this, there's this sense of, like, you're like, continue. Shit, was everything that happened up to this point real, or was it a mask?
Yeah.
Like, was there ever anything? I mean, and, like, obviously that's a big thing about the show is, like, to what extent can any of these people actually be good? Are they still human? Is there still, like, is there still a person on there? That is the title of the show. There's because there's a moment where somebody just says, like, is trying to, like, impress upon him why he's, like, crossed a moral horizon. And she just, I think it's just that she just says, you're wearing other people's clothes.
Yeah.
And it's this question of, like, because he's like fun and friendly and silly and cuddly and all of this stuff. And then it takes so little for him to just, like, you can forget all of the times in the last, like, 100 years or whatever where he's just been straight up a serial murderer. And arguably, like, sex criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he's literally seducing people so that he can kill them. It's, like, it really, like, leans into the, like, what is scary here is that that he, like, the vampire's really, really good at getting you to trust and make yourself vulnerable. Like, obviously, he, like, it's like, okay, faster, stronger, whatever, like, these are predators that could just overpower you with very little effort, but what they want is for you to make yourself vulnerable so they don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh.
Very nasty, yeah.
Yeah. I just think I think it's a really good, it does a really good job of being both without being like, I don't know, I'm just struggling to articulate exactly what it is, where it's like the point is not like, oh, he's like does all of these awful things, but really the point is the vampire is like an object of desire. It's like, oh no, like, you might think it's horny, but it is this is monster fucking that is going on. They're like, because I feel like that you kind of get, like, a lot of vampire stuff is, like, monster fucking for cowards.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
sure.
But they're so monstrous. I'm like, that's a normal human man with long teeth.
Yeah.
Like,
and maybe he's got freaky looking eyes.
You know, they're like, oh, it's so, and I'm like, there's a danger kink element there, but there's not really like a monster fucking element.
Yeah, I'll own up to that. That's definitely from like my situation. I'm like, yeah, man, but I do recognize that like it's the coward's way out. If he's not being monster
I'm not
fucking.
saying that they're not sexy. I'm just saying that anytime somebody mentions vampires in the context of monster fucking, I'm like, boring.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a very much a tie in some ways between Being Human and Interview with the Vampire, because Being Human to me is very much a show, especially for the vampire characters, for Mitchell, and also for I'm struggling to remember the name of the character who's in season 4 and 5. But
Tom?
For those characters, maybe.
Where's Tom, the other one?
Tom is the werewolf.
So long.
I've only ever seen the first 2 seasons of Being
werewolf.
Human because I can't watch season 3 because I can't watch Mitchell be an asshole to Annie, because season 1 of Being Human is like my cozy blanket show. I know he's a serial murderer. Yeah. That's my cozy blanket show.
Listen, boy, does he pay for it. But it is really sad to watch everybody fucking... Hal in season 4 and 5.
Yes.
Okay. I have a really strong emotional attachment to season 4 of Being Human, because I watched that when I was in college, and there are some things that happen in that season that are crazy in the best way possible, with a certain also vampire friend of Hal that I was like obsessed with that plot line. And I still have the episode on my computer. But there's something in Being Human about like you repeatedly have to make the choice to not be a monster. Like Being Human is about making the choice to do the right thing and be a decent person. And even if you are strictly speaking a monster, you can still be human if you choose to retain your humanity. Like it's a choice you have to make.
And it's a choice you have to make over and over and over again.
Exactly. And there's something in that as well with Interview with the Vampire, where like Interview with the Vampire is a very, very Catholic book series, and like there's definitely something in that whole thing with Catholicism about, like, I'm not Catholic, so I'm speaking very vaguely from what I've heard from other people, and like mostly from a storytelling perspective, but there's a lot of stuff I know in that about forgiveness and like the whole confession thing. Like there's a very strong thread of like the characters repeatedly having to recognize their own monstrosity. It's a very big thing with Lestat later on in the book series of like he's so fucking insane, partly because he so often has to reckon with see his own monstrosity and see the actions of his own, like the consequences of his own monstrous actions, and repeatedly has to find a way and search for a way to be forgiven for it. And the ways that she finds to like have him be forgiven just become crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. But like it's a thing in the books, and I think that's definitely like there's a thread there that connects all of them. And same with like Midnight Mass too, which I think is very much a show about like redemptive love and choosing a particular kind of love, not choosing love as a way to escape death, but like a love that is filled, that has acceptance in it, which really struck me this watch around, where I was like, oh, that's what it's about. Like, that's why I can connect to it, even though I don't have religious trauma. Like, I can recognize this thread in it that I think is very powerful. And that's definitely a thing that's in being human as well, is like these people, part of the reason why Mitchell and George and Annie, well, Mitchell and George especially, and very, very specifically Mitchell, are still hanging on to their humanity is because they repeatedly choose each other and choose to love each other, and that brings them back down to it. Which is why the ending of season 3 is so sad, and I won't talk about it.
No,
Partly because it's been so long since I've seen it, and I don't remember the exact details of like why what happens, but it's not happy.
No.
Obviously. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to keep like popping up in fiction. That kind of connection.
No, I'm just sad about being human again.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, we're just sitting here. It's like the longest pause on Earth, and it's like we're all like sad about it. Yeah. What else is there to say?
I mean, a lot, I think, is the problem.
A ton.
But I think
just like an absolute ton.
Deep dive zone.
Yeah.
I mean, we should come back to this one. We should
think so, too.
Definitely should.
We should do. I don't know if I said this actually on the recording earlier, but like I would really like to do a like non-English language vampire movie, like not necessarily whole episode, but like there's a handful of movies that I'd like. Is it Girl Walks Home Alone at Night?
Yes, that's what I was going to say earlier. Is I was like, I think that's technically a spoiler to say that movie is about vampires.
Shit. My bad.
I didn't know if you knew, which was the crucial point.
Oh,
I don't care if anyone else knows. Whatever.
Yeah, sorry, listeners. This is
It's been out for 10 years now. I think it's fine.
And just assume that there's going to be fucking spoilers for all sorts of shit on this show. You all know.
Yeah.
I also don't mind spoilers.
Yeah.
I would love to rewatch that movie and talk about it. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I would love to see Only Lovers Left Alive.
Me too.
Yeah, man.
But still, I have it.
I want to see John Carpenter's Vampires.
Oh fuck yeah!
I want to see John Carpenter's Vampires.
There's a lot.
There's a lot I want to see.
Also, the thing about vampires is that I mean, I gotta say, it's like can be a pretty low budget monster if you need it.
True, because they could just be fucking dudes.
That can just be an actor with some fake teeth shoved on there and maybe some makeup, and it works as long as you got somebody who's willing to commit to the bit. Yeah. Thank you for your service, Sir Christopher Lee.
I have been a vampire for a couple Halloweens just because I got fake nails and cut them the right way and then put them on my teeth, which is gross, but it does the job.
Grody, but you do what you must. I was vampire Billy Joe Armstrong a couple years ago.
That's right.
I did the outfit from the American Idiot tour, and then just wore fucking vampire fangs.
Needs must, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And then everybody was like, "Are you vampire Gerard Way?" And I was like,
"Close enough."
Sure, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, vampire's fun.
Yeah. I'm still trying
neck
to
biting
fucking
is sexy.
remember what my fucking first vampire movie was. I don't know.
Mine was definitely when I accidentally saw Interview with the Vampire at a sleepover when I was 9 years old or 8 years old.
Wild.
Ooh.
We
were like freaking out because we saw
but
boobs.
Every time it comes up, I just think that just explains something about you.
Yeah, it does, don't it?
Yes.
God, I remember where I fucking was. I remember getting to the Théâtre des Vampires scene, which for those people who aren't familiar with Interview with the Vampire, they go to Paris and they go to this movie theater that's run entirely by vampires. It's one of my favorite parts of the book / the show does it very well as well. Which is like, there's a theater in Paris that vampires run, and they put on a little show that the people who go and see it think that it's fake and that they're pretending to be vampires, but actually it's real, and they're like fully killing people on stage.
Damn.
It's incredibly good. And in the movie of it, they do it. It's so fucking good on the show too. This is the part that oh God, why is his name escaping me? Ben Daniels. Our friend Ben Daniels comes in to interview the vampire as friend of the show Ben Daniels as Santiago, who was one of the main vampires in the Teatro de Vampire. But in the movie, there's like some nudity during this scene, and we were just like, I think that every single person who was present at that sleepover is now gay. I think it's because partly, I don't want to say all because of that, but I think that was
it's not
very
not
strong
because
influence.
of that.
It's not unconnected. Do you know what I mean?
It didn't hurt.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
It's very funny.
That definitely happened to me.
I haven't seen that movie since Zee and I watched it in our dorm room like 11 years ago.
Man.
Oh my God.
I'm really excited. I made a post on Tumblr when I reblogged a gift set of Miss Cruz in that movie recently. That basically said something to this effect. But like, now that I'm in my post Cruz appreciation life, I'm really, really excited. As I don't think I've rewatched it since then. I'll like definitely like turn into a pumpkin or something after it happens, but like
Sure.
I'm really, really excited to watch it after I've in this era of my life that I'm in.
Yeah.
Because kind of generally the crazy thing about that movie is that people were like, and this is a thing that everybody probably already knows, but the crazy thing about that movie is that like people at the time said something to the effect of Tom Cruise as Lestat. That's never going to work. That's going to be so fucking
And here
stupid.
we are.
And here we are. And it's like the thing about that movie is that he's actually kind of amazing in it.
He really like does the damn thing.
He does. He commits to the fucking
he's
bit.
better than Brad Pitt, if I recall.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
By, like,
this is the other thing that's really funny about it. Is like people are like, oh yes, Brad Pitt, big star Brad Pitt. He's gonna play Louis de Pontefract. First of all, he fucking sucks in it.
Yeah.
And he's given Tom nothing. He's bad, so fucking suck it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is better.
However,
by a country mile.
By country mile, Jacob Anderson, who plays Louis de Pontefract on the TV show, it's like a different fucking. I mean, it is very different. It can be a very different character in many other ways too. It's like a different universe of character what Jacob Anderson is doing on the TV show based on like the fucking sleepwalking that Brad Pitt is doing in that movie. like Jacob Anderson would already be amazing without that to compare it to.
Yeah.
But like next to each other, it's embarrassing.
Kirsten Dunst as the girl in the movie, yeah? Am I remembering that correctly?
Incredible.
Yeah, she is also like head and shoulders above Brad Pitt, and she's like literally a child.
Yeah. It's like her and Tom against the world, and the world is Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
It's nuts. She's like, man, this girl got the juice.
For sure.
Yeah, what a movie.
What a film.
I think it's really appropriate to maybe end it on that positive note.
Yeah, I think so.
My sleepover experience, because listeners, it is where I am. It is past midnight, and I have to go to bed.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you gotta go to bed.
But God, we were so in it. That's the thing.
So we were so in it. Vampires are cool.
Vampires are cool. I like them.
There was
they
that
big
thing where it was like the are you effectively like, do you prefer vampires or werewolves? I just think about that sometimes.
I mean, why pit two queens against each other? I was a Jacob Bella person in my Twilight era. But
very
like
funny.
At this point, it's kind of like, you know, they're two great tastes that are very different tastes. You're getting two different things from it.
They do not always taste great together. Sometimes I'm like, can we just pick one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, the werewolf thing. Well, we can't get into the werewolf thing in Twilight because boy howdy, we don't have 4 hours.
Yeah.
We shrimply cannot.
Yeah. Anyway,
we shrimply cannot. Put it so well, Ezra.
Jacob forever.
Yes.
He's just like not wearing a shirt for like the entirety of the second movie.
You guys remember that GIF set that was going around Tumblr with like zero context, where Jacob's just taking off his clothes, and Bella's dad is like literally what's fucking happening to me right now, and somebody in the tags of the GIFs was like, "Hey guys, I've never seen Twilight. What is fucking happening in this GIF set?" Because it just looks like it's gonna turn into a porn parody.
It really does look like it's gonna turn into its own porn parody.
It's so fucking funny.
I work in a children's bookstore, and I'm encountering babies all the time, and most of the time I'm like, oh man, what a cute baby. One time I was walking around and this baby turned and looked at me from where it was sitting in his mom's arms, and I saw that face and I was like, you look like the goddamn animatronic baby from the Twilight movie. Like it was the fucking eyes.
Oh God.
It was like I swear to God, I immediately had to get off the floor so I could text my coworker. Goddamn baby over there looks like fucking Renesmee from the Twilight movie. That Jacob sees and is like, I must marry this baby. Apologies to this child wherever they are. I'm sure they'll look normal.
They'll grow out of it. Yeah. Oh my God.
And Stephenie Meyer thought that a baby like that couldn't exist, which is the funniest fucking thing in the whole world, because she thought, there's no real baby in the world that would be as beautiful as the baby that they would create together. Barf and a half. So they were like, okay, we'll make an animatronic fucking baby, I guess. And then it shows up and you're like, what is that? What is that? Like, this is a series with vampires and werewolves and monsters, and really scary shit has happened, like Michael Sheen's wig and stuff, for instance. And then you get to this movie and you're like, nope, that is the scariest thing I've seen. Not just in these movies, but like flat out ever. That's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, kind of like at all.
So-called
this is as scary as it gets.
No fear. The picture of the Twilight fucking baby. One fear.
One fear. Good God. Oh God, we're still recording.
We're still recording until somebody pulls the cord and does the outro.
Jesus
podcast.
Christ, it's gotta be me,
we're all trapped here.
All right. Fuck, man. Well, thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies. No pun intended, because you know the way that vampires hang upside down like that sometimes.
You're gonna do this thing the whole time?
I'll certainly fucking try, man.
Okay.
Sneople at the Movies. From the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more oh God, I'm losing it. It just turns into, like, some guy who has a thing stuck in his throat. Awesome. I can't say the word awesome as a vampire. More awesome content.
Dude, just do the count.
Chat with us on the Infinity Break Discord. 1, 2, 3. 3 Sneeples. I can't do it. I'm losing it. You can find it at bit.ly/I Infinity T Talk. You know the fucking thing. You can also shoot us an email at sneepleatthemovies@gmail.com if you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or you want to pick a fight about Dracula adaptations. Our Oscar-worthy music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter, and our glorious Technicolor TM logo was designed by Bethany Luthel. Check her out at bbalaniarts.wixsite.com. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a review on iTunes and share the show with your friends, your enemies, and your partners in crime, and your fledglings. As always, thank you for listening. I guess I'm so sorry, and we'll see you at the movies.
3 Sneople at the Movies.
Stupid ass podcast.